We'll call to order the business meeting for Tuesday, December 10th, 2024. We do have a quorum. Two commissioners are present. Flag salute. So Mindy, would you lead us a flag salute, please? Order the pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Kate, would you give us Zoom guidelines, please?
This meeting is streaming via Zoom and YouTube Live with a link on Facebook. For those meeting in person, please remember to turn on your mic and speak directly into the mic when talking. For those joining us via Zoom, please remember to mute your phone or device when you are not speaking. If you forget to mute your phone or device, we will mute you. You will hear a voice saying you have been muted, and if you hear that voice, it is because we could hear your background noise. For questions during the meeting, please raise your hand. If you are not able to raise your hand, please wait until commissioners ask for a question.
Thank you. Reva, could you give public comment guidelines, please?
Good morning. The commissioners welcome public comment. Public comment is limited to 3 minutes per person. There's a timer in front of me. It will be green when you have plenty of time left. It'll turn yellow when you have 30 seconds left, and it'll turn red when your time is up. We ask that you please state your name and city of residence when you get ready to give public comment. And we note that this is more of a one-way street. This is your opportunity to share your concerns with the commissioners, not necessarily their time to respond.
Okay, Greg Cole.
Okay. I'd have the same question that I raised
Could
at
please
City Council.
state your name
Oh,
and city
sorry.
of residence.
Sorry, my name is Greg Cole, resident of Lewis County. I live in the county, environs of Chehalis, but environs is my address. Again, the question I asked last night about annexation, City Council meeting. I understand that Lewis County is pressing the city of Chehalis to annex urban growth boundaries or give it back. They affirmed that last night. What is the process if they don't make some action that you agree with? Oh. Should I say it again?
Yes, please.
Okay, well, last night, city council meeting, I asked about annexation and the fact that Lewis County is pressing the city of Chehalis to annex the urban growth boundary. They confirmed that. My question is to the commissioners, what is the process if they don't make action that you agree with, and what would be the timeline for that?
And that is a discussion we are currently having with community development, and it actually revolves around management of the UGA area. It is not a discussion of changing UGA boundaries at this point in time.
So you are pressing them to annex it?
No, it's a discussion on
Management?
on how permitting is done. And so we're just opening up that discussion.
Okay, thank you.
And I would also encourage you, this is Minnie Brooks right here, who's our community development director. And that question, I'm sure she would love to have a conversation with you about that.
Rob Miracle.
Good morning. Thank you for allowing me to speak. I am Rob Miracle. I am retired and a resident of Packwood. I wanted to let you know that there are a number of citizens in the Packwood area that are very concerned with the large increases in their property tax assessments. A large random sampling of the assessment data gives you the following. Since 2020, commercial property assessments increased by 30%. Residential properties increased at 196%, and short-term rental properties 277%. Further, for the last 4 assessment periods, 90% of the commercial properties increased 0%. For the same time period, residential properties are up 71%, and short-term rentals are up 160%. Personally, since 2020, my property assessments have gone up 278%. My home, which is on 6 acres, much of which is unbuildable, being in the floodplain, now has an assessed value higher than the large Cowlitz River Hotel in Packwood. At the current tax rate, I will be paying upwards of $17,000 in 2025. After appealing my tax assessment last year, this year's assessment went up just under $700,000. One might say that that is the response from the county to challenge anything. What do you recommend I do?
Thank you, Mr. Miracle. What I would recommend doing is talking to the county assessor, who's
Okay.
an independent elected official.
I have contacted the assessor. I appealed my taxes last year, and obviously that didn't go over well since it went up $700,000. I've been in written communication with the assessor, and obviously that isn't working. So your answer is a no answer. Okay. The last thing I want to talk to you about is my property tax statement. On the property tax statement, it says that 80% of it is non-voted. Who sets those levels? I didn't vote for them.
The legislature sets the state.
Okay, so legislature. All right. So in my purpose of being here is to let you know the reality faced by residential property owners in Packwood. I'm also here to let you know that there is a growing number of very motivated and angry voters regarding this situation. So thank you for your time. Thank you for hearing me out.
Thank you.
I would love to get that information on your assessments. I would love to see that.
It was I know I'm past my time, but it was as an engineer, I just took a random sample of short-term rental residential properties and the commercial properties out of the actual database from the county.
But the specific property that you're talking about that increased by $700,000 after you assessed it, I would love to see that.
Okay. Not a problem.
I think
I'm not sure how to get it to you, but I'll figure that out.
Okay.
Thank you.
If you want to stay after the meeting, we can help get that information. If you'd like to stay after the meeting, we can help get that information.
Robert Johnson.
Yes, I'm Robert Johnson, Castle Rock, Washington. Been here several times this year in regards to my granddaughter and daughter, Lily Amoroso. It turns out on September 15th, Brandy Amoroso from Lewinlock, Washington, called the school resource officer and said, Mr. Johnson and another individual will be armed and coming into the school to take their granddaughter. And so this put this all in motion. I don't know if you folks know about this, and then Susie Palmatier got involved and notified everybody and the president of the United States. I don't know why Susie did, but 4 officers, school resource officer, this never happened, okay, but it happened. Brandy Amoroso, with intent to do harm and against me as the grandpa, made up these charges and allegations, influenced an off-duty school resource officer to call Susie Palmatier. I spoke with Chief Valentine today. I spoke with the undersheriff of Lewis County yesterday, and he led me to believe a little bit that Susie Palmatier is good at doing this. So I think what we talked about Matthew Amoroso talking about my little 3-year-old granddaughter, she's 5 now, about her vagina and her clitoris. I think we need to do something and right the ship here, folks. You know, David Mustashkin, the judge you guys brought here to Lewis County, is no longer a judge after this month, okay? And I probably due to his actions and behavior. what I made aware of all of this. But Susie Palmetier, Judge Toynbee is her supervisor. She needs to get canned, period, because she motivated this, notified Jonathan Mayer, Tony, some guy named Panko, security in the courthouse. Why is Susie Palmetier involved in a threat to a school district that I wasn't even involved in? And why isn't Brandy Amoroso, that I told Chief Valentine today, should have been arrested on a Class C felony? This needs to be handled. You let Matthew Amoroso off on saying he was going to murder his father and his children, put his son in the hospital, couldn't see his children. My granddaughter's in that home. 70 911 calls, folks. What more can we say? I know we have you guys as Board of Commissioners, but somebody needs to hold these people liable. And if Judge Toynbee is the senior judge and this is going on across the street, and you got a drunk judge coming from Grays Harbor that tried to assault police this year, you tell me what we do with this mess. But my baby granddaughter's in jeopardy in Winlock, Washington, due to these whacked out people. I talked to the mayor there today. I hope somebody starts looking into this.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson.
Thank you, Lindsay.
All right. Do we have anyone else for public comment?
I will note that we have written public comment from Kyle Wheeler that will be added to the record.
And anyone online? All right. 20 years of drug court.
Thank you. We are just so excited to be here and celebrate 20 years as we wrap up. If we could just start with our slideshow, that would be amazing. And then we'll follow up with some comments.
My name is Chris, and I graduated drug court in 2022. Before joining drug court, my life was chaos. All of my actions were self-serving, and my addiction was my top priority. Today, I live a fulfilling life. I'm a good parent, a good partner, and good employee. I'm able to provide for my family and do the job that I love at a very high level. Drug court provided me access to the tools I needed to achieve success, and also to have steady success since graduation.
A little bit, a long way. Take a look at where you started from and where you are today. You climbed mountains, swam oceans, you got knocked down and kept going. In the end, you know you got to say, a bit of love goes a pretty long way. All your wounds are healing fine. I'm so glad I got you in my life. Now the winter frost is gone. Now is our chance to live the life we want. A little bit, a little bit of love. Everybody's okay. Some show it, some hide it. It's a battle, we're all fighting. So if you're looking for the one, no bit of love goes a pretty long way. Holding on to the rabbit's feet. Walk down the sunny side of the street. Shadows breathing. Go back. Get on my enemies.
My name is Jesse Bowen. I graduated Lewis County Drug Court and Family Recovery Court in 2020. The program helped restore my faith in the program and the people that are in it. If I have anything to say to participating participants.
And I had a dream that someday I would just fly away. And I always knew I couldn't stay. So I had a dream that I just fly away. I've been on my own for a minute. Is it only me out there? Searching for the place to begin it. Is it me? Is it you? Is it fear? Standing on the line I was given. People stare and ask me why I'm here. No one seems to think that I fit in. That I don't wanna be like them. No, guess I don't wanna be like them. Cause I know that I had a dream that someday I would just fly away. And I always knew I couldn't stay. So I had a dream that I just fly away. Oh. I was scared to read for it all. Knowing I was here for a reason. But I was scared that if I tried, I'd fall. So where do I go now that I'm in it? Be like this. Dream it all my life and I did it. The grass was greener than it is. Cause I had a dream that someday I would just fly away. And I always knew I couldn't stay. So I had a dream that I just fly away. Oh. So I had a dream that I just oh.
Graduated from the drug court program in November 2010, and drug court completely changed the course of my life. And I learned many things while I was in the program that I still use today when dealing with situations and, just life as it happens. So I'm forever grateful for the drug court program and a continued supporter of the drug court program. And that's about all I have to say. Thank you, and everybody have a good day.
If I might make a few comments. I'm Judge Andrew Toynbee. I have the pleasure and the honor of overseeing our drug court. And what you just saw there was, I hope the things that jumped out at you were the sheer number of people that have been through this program, the joy and happiness on the faces of those people, the pride that they have in their accomplishments, and the community that surrounds them and that they have developed. This would not have happened were it not for Judge John Hall, who had the vision to start this program. Not only did he have the vision, he had the fortitude to go up against two individuals, two politicians who were very prominent and popular, John McCroskey and Jeremy Randolph, neither of whom were very sold on the concept. I was the chief criminal deputy back then when this was being flown out there. And Judge Hall was able to convince Jeremy Randolph and John McCroskey. And in the midst, there was a transition, and Steve Mansfield, who was appointed sheriff, was also involved in the decision. We started our drug court, and I was not the drug court deputy. I oversaw the drug court, but I filled in, and I was sort of shocked and amazed at some of the people who were allowed into drug court. These are people that I'd prosecuted for several years. And I became a believer when I saw that these people had truly changed and were no longer in the revolving door of the criminal justice system. We have had since then, Judge Hall passed the torch to Judge Nelson Hunt, who was the drug court judge for many, many years and really built a successful program. Our statistics, our recidivism statistics were some of the best in the state. And I had the privilege of taking over for Judge Hunt in October of 2016, just before I was actually elected. And I've had the honor and pleasure of seeing many, many people come through this program. And I'm sure we could supply statistics and data. Everybody loves data, and the data is supportive of drug courts as a program and Lewis County Drug Court as an example. But it's the small miracles that really keep me going from day to day. We have a team, many of whom are here. We have alumni who are here. The small miracles I'm talking about are being able to provide somebody with housing. I talk to a lot of drug court judges across the state, and very few, if any of them, have a program like we do, where we actually have drug court housing available. Now that started, the idea of the housing started before I started as a drug court judge, but it is developed, and due to the hard work and vision and collaboration of people such as Eric Martin, Steve Wold, Becky Butler, and Eric Eisenberg, who championed this project and really got this to be achievable and doable. Now, it's not easy to run a sort of a halfway house type of operation, and there are challenges, but to provide sanctuary and a safe place for people who are coming off the streets in the throes of addiction and give them a place where they're not constantly being provided or tempted with some of the things they're trying to stay away from. Our family recovery court has also been a success, and we have many alumni from that program. I'll take a quick aside. I wanted to recognize, you saw many pictures, and you saw Lee and Bonnie Coombs in those pictures. And I'm very saddened with the news that Lee passed yesterday. Lee and Bonnie were fierce supporters of our program. They provided the food for our barbecues every year, and then we brought them onto our foundation. And their support has been, we are losing some of what I would call the titans of service in Lewis County. Durrell Lund, Bill Brumsicle, Lee Coombs, some of those people who for years and years and years who have provided the backbone for a lot of the service work in this community. And so we want to honor and acknowledge Lee and Bonnie's contribution to our program. The small miracles that I was talking about, we have people who get their driver's licenses, and that is really important to me. Somebody who gets their driver's license and is insured, that's big. We don't have people who are uninsured motorists anymore. We also have people who come to court and they are so excited because they have a job and they're paying taxes. These mundane things that we take for granted and we actually usually resent. We have people who are taking pride in the fact that they're doing these things. They're paying taxes. They're working. I had somebody yesterday in court who was so proud of his work and what he was doing, and he said, drug court's crushing it at Cascade Hardwoods. We have 4 current participants working at Cascade, and they keep moving up the ladder and getting more and more responsibility, and 1 alumni who's working there. We have several people at Real Logistics. We have many people who graduate our program and go right into providing services, resource allocation, peer support, substance use disorder treatment, all sorts of things. They go from being consumers of those services to providing those services. The other thing that I wanted to mention is the community. One of the themes here was community. It used to be that there was a drug court team and the team did everything. The team provided, it was the team's responsibility to provide all these resources. We developed an alumni group. They're very active, very supportive. If the team can't provide it, the alumni can, and oftentimes they can do things that we just can't do. They've walked this walk. Most of us on the team have not. So when they speak, when they offer advice, it's really meaningful and they give things that we cannot. We also have, I would say, another dynamic that has grown in our drug court is the community of participants. They are extremely supportive of one another, and I think they're just as powerful and give just as much to one another as the team itself. We have people that show up at the office almost every day. Some people show up at the office every day. It's a safe place. It is a place where they know they can go, they can get a cup of coffee, and they can be with people who are going to help them make the next right decision. None of this would have happened and would continue to happen without the support of the community in general and the Board of County Commissioners. We appreciate your support. We appreciate the county government's support of our program and our people. We want to acknowledge 20 years of a successful program and thank the community for 20 years of support. This has been kind of a life changer for me as a judge. This is something I get great joy out of. I think all of the team does. One of the things that I tell our participants is nobody on the team is there because they were assigned to be there. We're all there because we believe in this work. We believe that this is successful. This helps our community. We're all there because we want to be there. So I want to acknowledge our team, our alumni and foundation members, our participants for all of their hard work. And I want to thank you all for your support. You come to our events, you come to our graduations, and I would like to invite you, if you have a chance on Monday afternoons, 3 o'clock, to come and witness some of those small miracles. It's those little things that week to week we see, those changes that we see. Somebody getting their first ever driver's license, which is, I think, a huge accomplishment. So I want to invite anybody who is listening to come and see what's going on at Lewis County Drug Court. 20 years, this is working. This is a successful enterprise. So I want to thank everybody involved.
Well, thank you, Judge Toynbee, and also to the entire team. Everybody needs support and community in order to thrive. And what you have built to give people that opportunity to get that first step into community and support is amazing. And to watch folks come through the program and then continue on and give back to our community has been phenomenal. And so the place that you have grown here in Lewis County is nothing short of amazing. Excellent work.
So could we have all the drug court participants come up and get a photo? So not just participants, staff, Toynbee, Judge Toynbee, we would love to have you come up here. Mitchell, I'd just say if you're looking for some more content for your article on this, Derek and Troy, incredible testimonies. And Derek's is phenomenal just because he had an opportunity to just, back when the Blake's decision happened, most of the drug court participants pieced out and just all their charges were dropped. But Derek was one of two, was that right? That said, no, I'm going to do it, and went through the whole program, graduated, and is now a huge part of our community and helping people. Incredible testimony.
Push the button to the right. There you go.
I'm Kevin Dickey. I was the drug court compliance officer for quite a while. And I think that it's often overlooked, and we like to look at the numbers of people who are successful in a program and how they do after the program. But drug court helps people even that aren't successful during the program. And I think that's truly the difference between drug court and other programs, is that even the people who don't graduate and get a certificate, and those people are still doing better today because of drug court. So it pays the county back so much in support that they give, and the success of not only the graduates, but those who come after them, and those who weren't successful in the program, but do understand that there's a different way of doing things. So it's more about that than just the drug court success. So anyway, thank you.
Thank you. All right. And then before we get into the body of the meeting, as Judge Toynbee mentioned, I wanted to take a moment to acknowledge the loss of 3 public servants in our community. We have Bill Brumsicle, a longtime educator, also House representative, and a community leader who was influential in funding for both Centralia College and Centralia Scholars, along with many, many, many other activities. We also lost Daryl Lund, business owner, including some of the finest watering holes in Lewis County, such as the Star Tavern and also Frank's. And yes, you can go ahead and laugh because I know Daryl would laugh too. He's also a longtime Chehalis City Council member and also generous soul in the community. And then yesterday we lost Lee Combs, also a longtime educator in Centralia, fire commissioner, mayor of Centralia, and also a very prominent face of the fair. That's probably where most of us saw him as we were going about the fair, but also involved in the community, as you saw with the drug court graduation pictures as well. And I was proud to have met all of those individuals and received counsel from them in time. And so on behalf of the county, I would like to extend our condolences to the family and wish them Godspeed.
I think Judge Toynbee said it perfect, titans of our community. And the big thing about each one of those is not necessarily the serving as much as they just loved people and just cared about them. And, you know, talking about what they did with drug court with Lee Combs, I mean, all the way to the very end, they continue to make the pulled pork sandwiches, go to different events. I think it was the barn bash last year to raise money for students that were showing animals. They were right there making their pulled pork sandwiches on the 4th of July, making hot dogs, just continually serving people, loving people, and just very grateful for each of them, and definitely will be dearly missed.
All right, with that, we'll go ahead and let the drug court folks go ahead and head out, and then we'll continue with notice items.
Madam Chair, I move that we approve one notice item, resolution 24-447.
Second.
Good morning, Commissioners and staff. Resolution 24-447. This is Sean Kais, Lewis County Public Works. This is just a notice of hearing for January 7th on a franchise for Hampton Lumber Mills out in Morton. Any questions?
Right, it's been moved and seconded to approve notice item resolution 24-447. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries 2-0.
Madam Chair, I move that we approve two consent items, resolution 24-448 and the approval of minutes from December 3rd, 2024.
Second,
Good morning, Commissioners. Graham Gowing with the Lewis County Auditor's Office, speaking to Resolution 24-448. This is our weekly approval of warrants for the week of November 29th through December 5th. To note, there were no warrants issued on behalf of the special purpose districts this week. The Auditor's Office issued 141 regular county warrants and direct disbursements for a total payment of $860,632. Any questions? Thank you.
it's been moved and seconded to approve resolution 24-448 and also approval of minutes. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries 2-0.
Madam Chair, I move that we approve 6 deliberation items, resolution 24-449 through 454.
Second,
Good morning, Commissioners. Eric Eisenberg here to speak to the Resolution 24-449 regarding ratifying a contract with Schwiesau Construction Incorporated. This is for renovations for the Lewis County Permanent Shelter. We did a formal bidding process and they were the lowest bidder. They were far under the estimate, so that's good for the budget of the project and for the taxpayers' money. We do have a small change order associated with this contract as well that occurred between the time we entered the contract and now, the time of ratification. It's for additional work that our fencing contractors asked for from concrete paving we were going to do, and it's in the amount of $5,900. So altogether, the total price of the contract is still well under the budget for it, and I ask you to ratify it. Do you have any questions? Thank you.
Good morning, Commissioners. Alex Murray, Facilities Administrator, speaking to Resolution 24-450. This is regarding an agreement with UniFirst to provide campus floor mat cleaning services. And just to sum this up, an in-house review of provided mat cleaning services identified some areas of concern. After multiple attempts to correct these items with the vendor, it was decided to investigate additional service providers. 2 additional service providers were contacted, both viewed the campus and provided proposals. We have determined that UniFirst looks to be the most qualified outfit to perform the mat cleaning services for the county campus buildings. We believe that this change will increase cleanliness, the overall look, as well as safety. We have the funds available in our current operating budget for this switch, and we are requesting authorization of the facilities administrator to sign the agreement on behalf of the Board of County Commissioners.
Good morning, Commissioners. Sean Kais, Public Works. Speaking to Resolution 24-451, this is to accept a bid on a tax title property. The minimum bid amount was submitted by a interested party. Local property owners were notified. No other bids were submitted. This would accept the minimum bid and put the property back on the tax rolls. Any questions?
Good morning, Commissioners. Erica Cat, Emergency Management, talking about Resolution 24-452. This is an agreement between Lewis County and Washington State Military Department for the Homeland Security Grant in the dollar amount of $21,938.
And Mindy Brooks, Director of Community Development. I'm speaking to this resolution, which is 24-453, and the next resolution, which is 24-454. So this is to approve the 28th supplemental agreement between West Consultants and Lewis County, which are acting as the fiscal agent for the Flood Authority in an amount not to exceed $417,006. The second grant is the same amendment with the state for the RCW for the same amount of money. Any questions?
all right. Any questions? All right, it's been moved and seconded to approve resolution 24-449 through 454. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries 2-0. We are now moving into a public hearing. We'll call the hearing for ordinance 1358. First, we'll have a staff report followed by a question and answer period. We will then close the question and answer period and open the hearing for formal testimony. Anyone wishing to testify, please sign the sign-in sheet at our lectern, and you will have 3 minutes. Right, we'll now have the staff report on ordinance 1358.
Thank you. Mindy Brooks, Department of Community Development Director. I'm speaking to ordinance 1358. This is to amend chapter 1705 general provisions, 1710 definitions, and 17130 adequate public facilities of the community Lewis County Code to comply with the changes to the revised Code of Washington that were implemented by Senate Bill 5290. The amendments change the timeframe for decisions on project permits and set the partial fee refund schedule if the timelines are not met. The amendments will go into effect on January 1st, 2025. Are there any questions?
We'll now open the question and answer period during which the public can ask questions. This is different than public testimony, so which comes later. Now is the time to ask staff questions. Not seeing any hands raised online. We'll now close the question and answer period. Ms. Brooks, would you like your opening statements incorporated into the hearing?
Yes, thank you.
We will open the hearing for public testimony. Do you have anyone who wants to give public testimony? And not seeing any hands raised online. We'll now close the hearing for public testimony.
Madam Chair, I move that we approve ordinance 1358.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 2-0. You have any announcements? Peter?
This might be under calendar too, but there are 2 events coming up this next weekend. On Saturday in Centralia at 6 p.m., there will be the lighted tractor parade. I'm sorry, Chalice, but it's the best parade in Southwest Washington. And on Sunday at 2:30 and 5 p.m. at Harrison Square Presbyterian Church, there will be a Christmas choir concert. Please come out. This will be classical Christmas music. So come out and enjoy some real old-fashioned choir music. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other announcements? New business? Anything for calendars? Press?